Hello everyone, and this is how you want to organize or reorganize your home screen or home screens, especially the main one. So in Android, you have the option to remove and add all kinds of tweaks. So for example, you have this option and you can always add new ones from right here. You long press and you have widgets and you have a bunch of them. Ultimately, I don't use a lot of I don't use a lot of widgets because that takes a valuable real estate and usually they're not that comfortable. So let's say I will use the player for me, but again, it really depends on your preferences. So what you really want to do is, first of all, Android will automatically add any new app you install to your home screen, which can create a mess. So you want to, so again, especially on your main home screen, so this is, for me, it's right here, so that's the first one. You want to have the apps you use the most, so you don't need to look for them. Not every time, you don't have to every time to go into your app drawer to look for the app or even search. Everything you use the most should be right here. With time, you know, or you already know what you use the most. So first of all, let's go through how do you remove or move things around. So first of all, anything can be removed or moved. So long press either will open some kind of a pop menu, or if you long press, you always has this option on the top to remove. This is not gonna uninstall the app. That's an important thing. This is only remove the widget or the icon. So let's say if I do this, this is not gonna delete the app. This is only remove the app. So you need to know that. So your app will always stay in your app drawer as long as you didn't press uninstall. So remove is not mean uninstall, just remove the icon. So sometimes, let's say you have a clock right here. This is sometimes comes as a default, so you can delete this because that's a valuable real estate, especially in your main home screen. You don't want to have a big clock right here because you can use different icons to put there instead. So you want to remove that. That's what I do. And so let's go through the process of deciding where to put what. Also in your home screen, there is a way of constructing your apps in the right way. So for example, you see on the bottom here, you will have messages, phones. What's good in this line, that it's always visible. It doesn't matter what home screen you are, this line will always be visible. So you really want to think, this is where I put the apps I mostly use, like they're used always. It really depends on you. So let's say I use WhatsApp more than I use the messages. So I don't want messages to be on the bottom. Phone, I don't use phone that much. I don't call that many people, so I won't put it on the bottom. But I do use the maps. I use a lot of maps, or I use a lot of music. So, and I use a lot of browsers. I use it. So that's why I put those on the bottom, which makes it more comfortable to access. And also, it depends on you if you are right-handed or left-handed. That will depends. So this area that I do right here, it's more convenient to access. So let's see, this area right here is not that comfortable because it's far, especially if you have a bigger phone. So this area again is area that you want to put also more. It's also valuable. You can look on your home screen as a real estate areas. So there is more expensive ones and less expensive ones. So the ones that are closer to your thumb will be more expensive because they're more easy to access, and you want to put the apps or icons you use most, or you use more at least, in there. So I use a lot of Gmail, so that's why I put it there. I use a lot of Play Store and weather or translations. Keep, I use most. Apps on the sides, I use less. Now, when to use, you have also the, not all launchers, but most launchers has the option of folders. Usually you can do that by just dragging one and put it onto the other, and that will create a folder by itself. Okay, now when to use a folder is usually when you have something you want to see, but it's not, you want it to be on the home screen, but it's not as valuable, or it has to be accessed with one tap. So let's say calculator you want to use with one tap, just access it real quick. But let's say school stuff, I want it to be in the home screen, but it doesn't have to be that quick. And if I'll see that I use it more often, I can always put it back on and move things a little. So again, on the home screen, I'll use most things, the things I use the most. So camera, you always want to have a camera, let's say for example, on your home screen. And again, it depends what you use. It will differ between people, what you use the most, but you can always organize. So how do you move stuff? You can always just do that. So long press and just move it to whatever you want. And if you don't have space, just remove, and you can always find it in your hub drawer. So let's say you remove something, you can put it back on. Or if you don't want to do that, what I do, sometimes when I want to move stuff, I will long press it, put it in a folder, move this around, and then just take it out of the folder when I finished reorganizing. So that's another way. And on another home screen, I use things I use less, but I still want to have them, and not looking every time on my app drawer. I don't have that many. Some people have more, but instead of that, I can have just what I use less, I use on the second screen. And you can, of course, you can always add some widgets here. Now a little tip, not all Android versions, I think it's mostly 7 on, so 7.0 on. And if you don't have it, you can always install Nova Launcher. I'll show you, it's right here. I usually will have this option. This is Nova. That's the option. See, it's happened right now. So I don't have where to put it. I'm just gonna remove it, and you'll still have it. So if you don't have this option, you can always download. But what I'm talking about is shortcuts, and that's a lifesaver. So let's say every app will have, not every, but most apps will have this option. So instead of going to Play Store and find your apps, you have the direction directly to your apps. In your camera, you have the option or portrait, selfie, so directly go in there instead of going and just looking for it. Your email, have your email addresses. Okay, what else? Your clock has option, create new alarm, create new timer, etc. Your photos has free up space, and I'm feeling lucky. That's pretty cool. It will show you random photos from randomly selected. Next option is you have on the music player, recent activity, my library. So again, that's a lifesaver. And here you have new incognito tab, new tab. So play around with it, see what apps offer this and what app doesn't. I think it's like about 50, maybe even more than 50% of the apps are offering this, and that can really save you time. Even like, let's say YouTube has search, subscriptions, and trending. It can save you time. Instead of looking for a bunch of stuff, just hit search and directly you go into search. So that's pretty awesome. Again, play around with it. But that's pretty much it. Thank you.